Hey everybody, this is Kurt with Send a Rope TV. I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk to you about some of the things I've been thinking about lately. You know, back in California, before I moved here to Virginia, I had my own business and doing video productions. And one of the things you have to do when you own your own business is really self-motivate yourself. You have to pick yourself up every morning. You got to get out of bed. You got to go make some sales calls. You got to do what you got to do to make your business work. And really, what a lot of that is a lot of this psychobabble, motivational speaking kind of stuff. You know, Stuart Smalley, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. And I think I've been looking at really what's happened because of just really having that business fall apart, because the economy in California fell apart, and as a result financial troubles, and just packing up and pretty much hightailing it out of California to just really start over here in on the East Coast. And just thinking about all of the things that have happened, and it's been a bummer and sometimes it's been a good thing at sometimes. And I've been looking at what's going on in our country. Big Ron Paul supporter, I've become quite a constitutionalist, and I look at everything that's going on and I think, why aren't things changing? Why aren't things improving? We've got a real movement here. The new Campaign for Liberty is going. We've got numerous different, Restore the Republic. You've got a lot of different things happening with out there in the constitutional liberty freedom movement, and yet things don't seem to change. And I think I've figured out why. You know, a lot of people, when they get depressed, they lay down on the couch, or they get bummed out, or something happens in their life, and they lay down like a deer in the headlights. They just lie down on the couch and they just say, "Hit me. I just can't take it anymore, and I don't want to deal with the world." I think a lot of the people that are awake don't have TV. I don't have TV. A lot of the friends I chat with and communicate with regularly that think like we do don't have TV. And I think that it enables us to really look at the world around us, look at what's going on, and just examine things. Personally, I think I'm finally coming out of that laying on the couch and hit me mentality. And what I've noticed is things like MySpace and Facebook and all these social networking areas, and even YouTube as well, become an outlet to stay in that negative world of the world is coming to an end, and nothing changes because we're so focused on the world is coming to an end. And at the rate it's going, it is. We've got now what? We're going to go into Iran. They just signed the immunity for the telecom companies. Way to go. I guess Obama really is for change. Oh wait, he voted for that. Okay. So just my advice to you is it's time to, if you can't tune out the negative, if you can't use that energy that you've got, and that negative energy can be used for a good thing. You know, the founders used that negative energy. They took up arms against the British. And if you look at history and you look at what those men were, they were men of means, they were men of opportunity, lawyers, just a lot of them wealthy men. And they pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to bring us the liberty that we now have. And I think that they would be shocked to realize that we are under twice or 10 times the amount of tyranny that the colonists were, that they were under at the time. You know, many of the founders, they didn't win and then get a lot of land and become lords of the kingdom. They went back to their lives, and some of them, because of what they had done standing up against the British, lost everything, and they died penniless and poor. And I wonder how many of us are willing to do that. I don't think people in America realize how rich we are in this nation, and I think it's time we start thinking about stuff like that. You know, we are the wealthiest nation on earth, and even the poorest among us has running water and sewer and trash service and food, whether it be crappy food and fast food and food they maybe shouldn't eat, but food. And I don't think we comprehend that. So as we approach the election season, the real election season, and we start conversing with our friends, let's start talking to people that aren't just on MySpace and in our own circle of influence. Let's start actually getting out there and really conversing with those people that we need to change the way they think, and help them understand that the way they think is wrong. When they use propaganda terms like we're fighting them over there so we don't have to fight them over here, and well, it's an all-volunteer military. I think that we need to use that energy that we've been using to post bulletins about George Bush being Hitler and all these things, and use that energy to really impact our culture and really impact the course of this nation. You know, this ship of state is being driven by a bunch of drunk monkeys, and we need to take it away from the drunk monkeys. And the only way we're going to do that is if we're not just sitting around moping, laying on the couch saying, "Hit me."